Okay, so this meeting is being recorded. So that means that whatever we say will be held against us in a court of law. All right. So just so that you know, the other heads up I want to give you is that I have enabled the chat, the ability for chat. So you can send messages to one another, but just so that you know, whenever a Zoom meeting is being recorded, the chat is also being recorded. Now, it would be my preference if you say something bad about me that you do it to the chat, okay? That would be my preference. But when it's all said and done, if you could not just say anything bad, that would even be better, okay? Are we good? All right, the other thing, I don't really like talking to letters, so I'm gonna ask that you actually turn on your videos. I know I didn't get a chance to put my makeup on this morning as well, but I'm sure most of you look very presentable, so if you could please turn your videos on, that would be my preference. If it's not working, then I get it, and it's not mandatory. The first thing I want to do is actually apologize to all of you because I'm about ready to send an email out or an announcement to all of you. For whatever reason, it got in my head that this class normally meets at 10:10 a.m. It's the drugs. Whatever you do, just say no, okay? So it's important for you to make sure that you're careful with what you do in your younger years because it affects your older years, okay? But for whatever reason, I got you crossed up with my Accounting 1 class, and it was pointed out to me this morning by my Accounting 1 class. Hey, we don't normally meet at 8 o'clock. Well, we normally meet at 10. And I was like, no, you're crazy. I went look and said, oh, I messed up. So as a result of this, and I'm posting an announcement, and it doesn't really apply to all of you because you're here, but I'm going to post an announcement to everybody. If they weren't able to make the meeting today, there will be, without regard to whether they send me an email or not, that they weren't going to be present. I'm not going to drop anybody. So the only ones that I will drop by the end of this week would be anyone who has not even accessed Canvas or the course by Friday. So I'm sure all of you are on board with that, so that'll be good. But I'm going to be sending an announcement out probably right at the end of this course, and you'll know what that means. But in any event, so you're here, it's 10:10. I do apologize again if this conflicted with any other class, I hope it didn't. But anyway, let's get started. A little bit of introduction myself. My name is Andres Hinojosa. Most people refer to me as Andy. I don't really care how you refer to me as long as I know that you're referring to me and that you don't add any profanity when you speak my name. If we can just go with that, then I'll be good with it. If you're going to call me Andres, let everybody go ahead and unmute yourselves for just 1 second here. Unmute yourselves. Okay, if you're going to refer to me Andres, I need you to roll the R. So everybody at the same time, we're all going to say my name with rolling the R. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Andres.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of Mexicans here. That's good. All right. All right. So I'm from Tulare, born and raised in Tulare, moved down south to go to school in Los Angeles. While I was going to school down there, I married my wife, Loretta. That was a long time ago. And we decided to move back to Tulare shortly after she moved down there. I guess she didn't like Los Angeles. I finished my undergrad and graduate degree at Fresno State. Go Bulldogs. All right. Undergraduate degree is a business administration with an emphasis in accounting. The graduate degree is an MBA with an emphasis on information systems. Let's see, when I was finishing up there at Fresno State, I worked for the city of Sanger as the director of finance. I then took on a position as a CFO controller for a local ag company, and then switched back to public accounting to become a CPA. Took the exam, passed the exam, became certified in 2002, and I started my own practice in 2005. I have a small CPA firm here, located here in downtown Tulare. There's only 6 of us, but we're real busy all the time, and so thank God we've been able to to survive so far. Hopefully this pandemic doesn't bring very many more people down or many more businesses. But so far we've been doing okay, and we'll continue as best we can. Let's see. Somebody's got a little bit of feedback. I'm going to do some muting here. All right. Let's see. So as far as my teaching experience, my first gig was with Porterville College. I started teaching for COS. I also teach for, or have taught for University of Phoenix, Fresno Pacific course. I just finished a couple courses recently with them. And Embry-Riddle Online, I just finished a couple courses. Right now, really, you get all of me. I'm not teaching any other places right now, but just you guys. So that's good news. You have my full attention, and that congratulations. And then, and I started teaching for COS on a full-time basis in 2007. I teach primarily business courses, but as time has progressed since 2007, I've taught more and more accounting courses. So that's what I prefer to teach anyway, so I'm good to go. Let's see. Personally, I've been married now for, I'm not real good with numbers. Let's see. Oh, okay. 31 years to the same person. To the same person.
Wow.
Who does that? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm mad because all my friends, they've been on their second and third wives. I'm like, look, I only got one. That's not cool. I mean, how did you get 2 or 3 and I only got 1? All right. But
you're lucky.
Well, thank you for sharing that. All right. Thank you for sharing that. I'm lucky. I am lucky. My wife has put up with me for 31 years, and hopefully she can continue to put up with me.
A very long time.
Yeah. See, you agree with me, right? I agree. That's a long, freaky time.
I'm sure some of us would wish to have that. I mean, I would love to have that.
I got 40 this year, Andy. I got 40 this year in November.
Oh my God.
40, you know, after
she's beating you.
After 10 years, it doesn't count anymore. It's a long, freaky time, all right? All right. So anyway, I have a beautiful little girl, a daughter. I say little, but she actually just graduated from Fresno State this last year. Thank God I'm running out of money. All right. So she graduated, and hopefully she'll start working and making some money sometime soon so she can take care of daddy. Oh, that would be nice. Isn't that cool? All right. What else do you need to know about me? I think that's it. I think that's it. So do you have any questions about me? Questions, issues, concerns?
How long did it take you to get CPA?
Well, I did things a little bit backwards. Like I mentioned to you, I went into the private sector first. And then after I was working as a CFO, because my commitment was to actually do what we're going to be doing in this course. My commitment was to be management accountant for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to be a controller, CFO. And it wasn't until I was about, I think I was 35, when I thought, you know, I really want to have my own business someday. And the easiest and quickest way that I could think of doing that was to become a CPA. So at 35, I quit my job working as a CFO for the ag company and took a pretty big cut in pay and started working for a CPA firm. So because in order to become certified, you have to work for a CPA firm. So if you count from that time that I started working for the CPA firm, I put in for the 2 years experience requirements and I passed the CPA exam. So I started in 2000 and became certified in 2002. So, so from when you finish your college program, let's see, if you're interested in becoming a CPA, you would expect that first of all, you're going to have 150 units of higher education to sit for the CPA exam. So an undergraduate degree is usually about 120 for 4 years, but you're going to have to find an additional 30 units. In most cases, it would make sense that you just go ahead and take another 30 units towards another degree, like a master's degree. Didn't used to be that way, but it is today. So most students who are trying to become CPAs simply just decide that they're going to go ahead and pick up a master's degree at the same time, because you got to get those extra 30 units anyway. So once you get your 4-year degree, add another year to get a master's degree to get the 5th year. You're going to need at least 2 years experience requirement. So that's going to put you at 5, 6, 7. And then in that 2 years that you're actually obtaining the experience, you'll try to pass the CPA exam, which I think most people will be able to do that within the 2 years. And then that means after 4 + 1 + 2, you're probably looking about 7 years before you become an official CPA. But you can start working for a CPA firm as soon as you get your 4-year degree. In fact, that's what you're probably going to want to do, is start working for a CPA as an accountant that's not certified, working towards certification. And most CPA firms who hire graduates will actually help you obtain your license, and give you the time and support you in your quest to become a CPA.
That was helpful.
Thank you.
How many of you want to become CPAs? Nerds, you bunch of nerds. All the ones that are here saying, like, I just want to get past this class, all right? I'm not with these nerds, all right? I'm just trying to get past this class. But, it's good that you're in this class, because this will be an important part of taking the exam and also getting your degree. So if you like to become a CPA, this is a good start for you. If you do not want to become a CPA and you're here because the powers that be said you have to be here as part of your undergrad degree or your graduate degree or whatever degree you're trying to reach, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm actually trying to do the same one as you, the business administration with an emphasis in accounting.
Yeah, that's the way it usually works. Like at Fresno State, that's what they do. Most state universities and UCs have that kind of situation where you get a business administration degree with an emphasis in something. And so if you want to become an accountant to CPA, it's important you choose the option of accounting, because you're going to need all those accounting courses in order to even sit into the CPA exam. Mm-hmm. When you guys get a chance, I can reference you to the State California Board of Accountancy, which issues licenses, and they have a pretty good website there where you can actually look at what the requirements are. It's been over 15 years since I became, actually more like 18 years, almost 19 years actually, since I became certified. So it's a little bit different, but I can help you with what I know, and I'm involved in education, so I kind of have a feel for how it all works. Becoming a CPA and any accounting course that you take in its basis, and if any of you have taken my classes before, you know that I've mentioned this to you before. Accounting isn't that difficult. It's not that it's hard, it's that it's comprehensive. There's just so much coming at you at one time, and it feels overwhelming that you're really absorbing or trying to take in so much at one time. So if you have patience with that, if you focus, study hard, and get through the fact that there's just so much coming at you at one time, then you can get through this. And the way I always got through the program is that I always looked at people who were in the same classes that I was in and figured, look, if they can do it, I can do it, right? I just kind of compare myself to others. When I was looking to become a CPA, I knew other CPAs, and I would think, I'm just as smart as they are. I can do it. So if you just kind of have that attitude, if you at least get a little bit better than average scores in your accounting classes compared to others in your peers, then that's going to put you in a position where you can do well in accounting. Okay? Any other questions before we move on to the course itself? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and I want you to confirm for me that you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen now? It's just Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Now I'm going to scoot you off to my other monitor so that at times when I'm looking at your faces, I'm going to be looking off to the side, and not because I don't want to look at you in my camera, but because I see you guys over there from my screen off to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and get into, oh, here's the announcements I'm posting right now. Hello, students. Normal class time meeting is 8:10. Big dummy, I screwed up. See, when I scheduled our Zoom meeting today, I mistakenly assumed that our class normally meets at 10:10. That was incorrect. Our normal class meeting time is 8:10. I apologize for the error. As a result, no students will be dropped for missing the Zoom meeting this morning. Only students who have not signed into Canvas the course by Friday, 8/21, will be dropped from the course. I apologize for the error and inconvenience. I will be posting links to the Zoom recording later today. So you're all here, so this doesn't really apply to you, but now that you're all here, I'm going to go ahead and post this. You'll get this in your announcements shortly.
Will our Zoom meetings be as long as the class sessions would have normally been?
Yeah, you know, well, and the only time we're meeting that we have to be here is today. Now,
Oh, okay.
all the other times I'm going to be online and available to you, but anytime between 8 and 10 a.m. you can come in and come visit with me and talk to me and ask me questions. The way I'm going to be running this course is as close as I can to what it would have been done in a live session, but it seems to be more convenient that I post videos of our lectures and then just be available for you during class times. Okay, so we'll talk more about that as we go. So let's go ahead and get into our class. We're going into the home area. I need a little bit of help here because I'm confused. I'm a very simple person. I don't know where to click. Does anybody have any clue? This is pretty complicated. Anybody give me a hint right now where I could possibly click right now? Anybody?
I'm guessing it's going to be at the start here option.
OMG, can you believe that? That's incredible. Start here sounds like a good idea. So let's click on start here. All right, so you have syllabus information, remote calendar, My Lab resources and registration. Let's go ahead and go straight to the syllabus. It is the most important document that we have for this course. Let's make sure we have everything correct on there. And the first part is just a little bit more about my introduction. Actually, I don't think it's more, it's probably less, but it's there. Your course materials include the My Accounting Lab, which is what you have to have, just like you had for Accounting 1. You have to have access to My Accounting Lab. And the textbook is Managerial Accounting, Braun, and Tietz. Now, if you're confused as to what the textbook looks like, I don't know. Anybody have a clue what the textbook might look like?
On the screen.
Oh my goodness, there it is. So if you have any question as to whether or not you have the right textbook or not, check it out. Look at the homepage of our course, Canvas course. It'll show the actual textbook. So very good. The ISBN should be correct, but sometimes when they add a lab access or they take away a lab access and Pearson changes the ISBN numbers, you should be able to use that ISBN to get what you want. But in the event that whatever you come across is different, the real kicker is going to be here. Does the textbook look the same? And that should tell you. All right. Our goals listed there, student learning outcomes, you can look through that. The course content is all the chapters we're covering. Here's for evaluation purposes, the one thing I do want you to know, the way all my classes are conducted is late assignments will not be accepted. That means all assignments must be submitted using My Accounting Lab by the due date and time. So there are no makeup tests or quizzes, and missed quizzes will result in a grade of 0. That's not extraordinary. It's what I do for all my classes all of the time. But just so that you know, I'm opening you up here so I can see most of you. Just so that you know, I do not accept late assignments. Now, are there any situations where you can have an exception? Yeah, there are exceptions. Work will not be one of those. If you send an email to me saying, hey, I was real busy at work this week and we had some overtime, and no, that's it. Well, I guess there can be an exception. If you're a first responder or a nurse and we're going through this COVID crisis, okay, you're tugging at my heart now. That may be something that I might consider, all right? But if you're like an accountant working at a CPA firm, if you work for me, I'm not even going to give you a break, all right? So make sure you get your homework assignment today. But let's say, for example, you're working on your homework, okay? And that somebody next to you or near you is having a heart attack. All right, if you know how to administer CPR, you better jump on it, right? Stop what you're doing and administer CPR. But here's what you have to remember. If he or she doesn't come around in about 3 or 4 minutes, there's no sense in you losing them and losing points on your homework. So after about 4 or 5 minutes, if they don't come around, just go ahead and finish and submitting all of your homework, all right? Okay, I'm recording this. For the record, that was completely a joke, okay? I am just kidding. It was just for fun. You're gonna help people and you're gonna be good about making sure you help with medical emergencies. That was probably gonna be the only kind of an exception that I would accept as some type of medical emergency. And in most cases, I'm gonna ask you that you let me know as soon as you can. And then also I may have to ask you to provide any kind of confirmation that in fact you did break your leg or something. Maybe you were in the emergency room at a certain time and broke your leg and it just didn't work. God forbid, there's a lot of things going on right now with COVID and all, so I will be a little bit sensitive to that as well. But the fact of the matter is this is an online class now, and so you do have time frames where you can work on stuff. So be diligent. Now, I'm sensitive to those who may in fact get infected, and I will tell you that there's a very good chance that some of you in this course are going to be infected by the end of this course, all right? That probably will happen. Not that I'm wishing it upon you, but I do tell you that my wife, my daughter, and my accounting manager all tested positive, all right? So I lived in a COVID-infested home for about a month, and somehow I managed to not get infected. I was tested 3 times. I'm sorry, 2 times I was tested twice. Both times came back negative, all right? So I was good. Now, this all happened in early April, so, everything is calm now, but I will be very sensitive to the fact that I know what it's like to go with the stress associated with somebody who tests positive in your home. So let me know what's going on and we can talk about it. But again, these are weeks that you have to take to submit your assignment, so you should be okay. All right, discussions. Now, if any of you have had me for an online class before, this is actually going to be a little bit different than what it has been, mostly because now we're moving more to this is more remote, and so I changed the requirements this time. It may be a little bit easier to some degree, but actually I don't think it will be actually easier. It'll probably be about the same. But anyway, here's the way it's going to work. Students will be required to participate in weekly online discussions. Excuse me. So the online week will begin on Monday at 12 a.m. and end on Sunday at 11:59. So just so that you know, our week started a Monday morning at 12 a.m. Okay, and it's this week. Week 1 ends on Sunday at 11:59. That's our week. Now, during that week, we have participation requirements. You are to post 1 reply message that contains 2 well-developed paragraphs and clearly addresses the discussion questions. The instructor will not consider a single sentence paragraph as well-developed. So in Canvas, you will see, under discussions, you will see that there are discussions that have been set up already. There is an introduction thread that you may or may not participate in. This is just for us to kind of get to know one another a little bit better. But into week 1 discussions, there are the 2 discussion questions that I'm requiring you to respond to, okay? There's 2 for this week. There's probably going to be about 2 every week. So you are required to post 1 reply message that contains 2 well-developed paragraphs, okay? So that's going to address the discussion questions. After you do that, now, until you post, you won't see other students' posts, okay? Once you reply to that, you will then see all the other students' posts, and then you're going to be required to post 2 replies to two different students. Your reply posts must be substantive. That means you're going to show evidence of critical thinking and meaningful interaction with the posting, as well as course resources, and ask engaging questions or provide insight into the discussions. So in other words, I want you to add to the discussion as if we were sitting in a classroom and you're making a comment. Now you're going to say, well, I don't even normally talk in a classroom anyway. Well, that's even better, because now you can do the same kind of thing that you should have been doing in the classroom, but if you're not real vocal, now you can do it online. And most of you are pretty good at responding to text messages and your Snapchats and everything that you guys do online anyway, your social media. So here's a chance for you to actually participate, and at the same time, you're going to be able to learn a few things, because you'll be required to learn, read and learn the content for that week. The way it's going to work is students will earn 50% of the weekly discussion points by responding to the initial discussion questions, and then they will earn 25% of the points for each substantive reply to other students. Now, there's no partial grades here. Your first reply will get you 50% or get you 0. Okay, so you have to make sure that you reply to the initial discussion questions comprehensively. If you post 1 single line, it clearly says that 1 sentence is not going to be considered substantive. It won't be considered comprehensive. So you're going to get a 0 on that 50%. And the same holds true with the replies. If you reply 1 reply that's substantive and another reply that's not, you're only going to get points for the 1 substantive. So in other words, let's say you do reply to the first initial discussions, you'll get 50% on that. Let's say you reply 1 substantive messages, you'll get 25% on that. But let's say that third one that you posted wasn't substantive, you'll get 0 for that. So you'll get 75% for that week of the discussion points. If you're concerned that you don't know for sure if 1 post is going to be considered substantive, then I would post another one that's even more comprehensive, that's more substantive. If you post 5 posts and none of those posts are substantive, you're still going to get 0. All right? They have to be substantive. It's all or nothing. Make sure you respond. You can't just keep posting, I agree, I agree, I agree, I agree. And because you posted 5 I agrees, you get points. That's not the way it's going to work, okay? You have to post substantive messages to get your points for that week. Now, you're going to see students do this, that they're going to be, you're going to be looking and say, well, they did it and they posted, but you're not going to have access to their scores or their points. So you should not assume that they're getting points, because chances are they are not getting points, all right? Just because other students might be doing it. And here's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of testing on the first couple of weeks. By the end of the semester, you'll start to see that there's less testing because people get tired of getting zeros, all right? But initially, you're going to see quite a bit of testing to see how far they can go with just posting 1 sentence or whatever, and they're going to get zeros, and then they'll straighten up over time. All right. Any questions about the participation requirements for this course? So if you're into numbers, that would be 3 posts, okay? 3 posts a week. You guys got it? Initial discussion question, and then 2 posts to 2 other individuals. All right. Drop policy, I don't drop students unless you're not here by Friday. So just know that if you want to get out of the course, you're going to have to exit yourself. Here are the, oh, by the way, no food or drink while working on your computers. No food or drink. I'm going to be watching you guys, all right? Do not use food or drink while you're at your computer, because if you damage your computer, you're going to be SOL. You're going to be out of luck, all right? So you cannot use food or drink while you're working at your computer. Okay. We have our schedule here for our scores. Accounting 2 fall, you have exams, homework assignments, quizzes, final exam discussions. These are the points associated with it. There's nothing that's really heavily weighted except, not even, exams are probably the most at 26%, but everything else is available. Now, the homework assignments is 21.1%, but I think you have unlimited attempts. So you should be able to get all those points if you want them and you want to put in the time, because sometimes it's just a matter of, let's try it this way, let's try it this way until you get the right answer that you're looking for, right? All right, so there's the letter grades that I use for grading. I'm not a very creative accountant, okay? I follow the standards. The only creative accountants I know are either dead or in jail, okay? So we're not gonna be creative here. We're just gonna go with the standard normal A, B, C, D, F, and I don't use pluses or minuses, okay? So we'll get it. The final exam due date is Thursday, December 17th at 4 p.m. Now, because we are a live class, I will have a final exam meeting date and time. I think it's gonna be on Thursday as well. I'll post that later. You are not, just like in my live classes, you're not going to be required to be in Zoom on that time. I will post a Zoom message, the links and everything to let you know, this is my Zoom meeting for this class, the final exam meeting time. You're not going to be required to be there if you've got everything submitted, only if you have questions. And that's what the objective is for the final exam meeting time, will be that if you have any final questions about your grade, the assignments, etc., just to give you one last chance to come to and talk to me about what's going on. Okay? All right, any questions about the syllabus?
I have a question for the discussions. I know I'm a little late. You mentioned earlier.
That's right.
Are they opinion-based, or are they going to correlate with the chapters that we are on?
They will primarily be, they primarily will correlate with the chapters. So it'll be about you reading the chapter to be able to answer the questions. Well, let's go look at the first one as a clue, as a hint. What are the three main areas of management's responsibility? How are these three areas interrelated? How does managerial accounting support each of the responsibility? There's not much opinion on here. You can add your own thoughts as to what's important and what's not important, but there's clear review in the chapter about these questions. In fact, many of these questions are really consistent with the objectives of each chapter. So it's going to be about you reading the materials to be able to respond in a way that is consistent with the textbook. Now, if you disagree about something, please add that, but make sure that you add and reference the textbook in terms of what is said at the textbook. And if you want to throw in your thoughts, I'm more than happy. And then that would help with any kind of continuing discussion that maybe somebody else would like to have. Don't be looking at my Facebook, all right? I saw you guys doing that. All right, it's gone. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions about the syllabus? All right, let's go back to the home, to the start here. We went over the syllabus. Let's look at the calendar. Now, there is a bit of a lag time in the first two assignments. We do chapter 1 and chapter 2 just as scheduled for week 1 and week 2. We jump right into it, okay? Excuse me. So chapter 1, chapter 2 go as scheduled. The only difference that I do for my classes, even for my live classes, is I do allow chapter 1 to be extended until August 31st or the day, the same as chapter 2. So in other words, this is 2 weeks ahead, but both chapter 1 and chapter 2 are due at the same time. So I want you to get started on chapter 1, chapter 2. Both of those will be due on Monday, August 31st. Now, here's the heads up, and here's what I want to make very clear to you, just like what I mentioned earlier. The class week starts Monday at midnight and ends at 11:59 on Sunday. Boom, that's it. The class ends. Now, technically, that means I should make your assignments due, all assignments due at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday evening, which in fact your discussions are due at 11:59 on Sunday evening. So in other words, this week's discussions are due on 8:23 at 11:59. Well, let's go on to week 2, because that's a little bit a better example. So in week 2, we start on 8:24 and we end on 8:30. Okay, it ends on Sunday, August 30th. Your discussions are due by 8:30. It's Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Now, you'll look over at the My Lab assignments and you'll say, oh, wait a minute, that's due on Monday, 8:31, 4 p.m. And so this is my favor to you saying, look, I know that there are sometimes technical problems that occur on Sunday evening, which make it very difficult for me because I'm not usually online on Sunday evening, make it difficult for any of us to try to address those on, you sent an email to me at 9 p.m. on Sunday evening. That's going to be kind of tough for me to even see that. So I have made it a policy that I go ahead and give you extra time to the next day, Monday at 4 p.m. Now, please don't send me an email later. Well, why don't our discussions, why can't we just do those till Monday at 4 p.m.? No. Technically, everything should be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Technically, because this is the online environment. But I'm extending it all the way to Monday at 4 p.m. the following day. Okay? You're very welcome. No, thank yous. That's okay. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm giving you the extra time for that, okay?
Thank you, Andy.
Oh, see, you're very welcome, Sandra. Okay, so as it goes then, chapter 1 is the only kind of weird or exception thing. Oh, did somebody are you guys chatting? You guys talking about me right now? Already? Come on, dude. I guess I can't put it on while I'm sharing screen. Anyway, week 1 ends on the 23rd, but there's no, now your week 1 discussions are due on the 23rd, so that's not going to change. Then your homework, though, is not going to be due. Now, the only reason why I do that for chapter 1 is I want to give you 1 extra week to get through signing into My Lab, making sure that you're all good to go. So the first week you don't have to, like, you know, get ready to jump off the ledge because you're not ready to go in My Lab. I'm going to give you an extra week for the first assignments. But both chapter 1 and chapter 2 are going to be due on August 31st. That's a Monday, August 31st at 4 p.m. And there won't be any extensions from then on. So from then on, you know, you have chapter 3. That's all going to be due on September 14th. Chapter 4 is 2 weeks. Will be due on the 28th. And then from there, we're going to go into 1 week intervals, and every week there's going to be a chapter that's due. So the first 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be taking chapters 2 weeks at a time just to kind of get used to how this all is going to work. And it's not until about week, it looks like week maybe 7 when we start putting the gas pedal down and start moving quicker, okay? Final exam meeting date. Oh, there it is. Thursday, December 17th at 8:10. See, I got it right here that we meet at 8:10, but for whatever the Zoom meeting I screwed up on. The final exam due date is on that same Thursday, but it's not going to be due till 4 p.m. So everything is going to be at 4 p.m. except the discussions. They're due at 11:59 p.m. Okay, any questions about the calendar at all? Are we good? Now the calendar, there should be consistency between this calendar and what is in the calendar here in Canvas, because it'll also show due dates, and also the calendars that are set up in My Lab. They should all be consistent. If you see something that seems to be inconsistent, let me know, because I'm good, but I'm not perfect. I mean, this morning is a good example of how I'm not perfect. I apologize again. But you know, if you see something that doesn't seem right, just let me know immediately, and we'll try to address it as quickly as possible. Okay, there's also a link here for MyLab resources. If you are having technical problems with Pearson, unless the entire system goes down with Pearson, which is not normal, it doesn't happen very often. It does on occasion, but it doesn't happen on normal. So if you're having some problem accessing it for whatever reason, then I'm going to suggest to you that chances are it's a problem on your end, or you may need to contact. Now, you can send an email to me, and many times I'll say, hey, contact Pearson support. Here's where the Pearson support is. It's under My Accounting Lab resources, and student support for My Accounting Lab is right here. So you have a link that'll get you there to the support that you need. Now, I'm going to say, because this is online, I'm going to suggest a few things. First of all, I'm going to suggest that you have at least 2 devices that you have access to that you can work on your homework, at least a minimum of 2 devices. You need to have 2 access points, internet access points. So that means most of you are at home, that's one access point, and some other point. If for some reason or another you have some difficulty at your home and you send me an email and say, hey, I didn't pay my Comcast bill, I'm out, I can't do my homework. Then I'm going to suggest to you, well, you need to get into your vehicle and you need to drive over to a hotspot somewhere where you can have access, okay? And that means you got to have a portable device to make that work, all right? So two devices. If one computer goes down, you have another device to do your homework. Two access points of internet that you can rely upon, so you have a backup. And then 2 browsers, or a minimum of 2 browsers on your computer or your devices. I will tell you that for the most part, PCs work fine with MyLab. I think Apple computers work well, but I have noticed that those who are using Safari and MyLab sometimes have issues, okay? Not 100%, but they do have issues. So what I'm going to suggest to you, if you've got a Mac, then go ahead and download or use Chrome. You can have Safari there too, but that, make sure that you have Chrome available at all times as well, because I do notice that for whatever reason, Safari seems to glitch up a bit with My Accounting Lab, all right? So make sure that you have at least 2 web browsers. If you're using a PC, then Chrome, Edge, Firefox, all ready to go. In case one goes down, you can turn the other one on and keep getting things done. So we've got your resources here, and I think under the start page, I think we're good to go. Oh, and I did post this Canvas support. There are guides here for how to use Canvas, and also if you're using an iPhone or an Android device, there's some help here as well. Both of them, I believe both, you can actually download an app for Canvas. So if I were you, I would download that. I don't use it regularly, but if I'm out and about and I want to go see something in Canvas about something, it's kind of convenient to have it on your phone. Okay. Let me go ahead and jump to where, well, first, let's go on to MyLab. Now, we've already talked about what you're required to have. You have to have access. The question always is do I need my a physical book? And the answer is probably not. As long as you make sure you get an ebook with your subscription to MyLab, you have to have MyLab access. If you don't need a physical book, then don't worry about getting a physical book, but make sure you have purchased the ebook option. I believe that's $100 or roughly $100 for both the access and the ebook. So you should be good to go. If you want to have a physical book and need one, then go ahead and you have some options online to purchase it when you sign up for MyLab. I think they give you a loose leaf option and a physical book option. There are other ways as well. You can actually rent the book itself. I believe you can from, let's say, Amazon or some other place. Jose, did you have something that you rented from someplace?
Yeah, I rented mine off of Amazon, and it was only $10.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you can get the ebook so that you have access to it online, but then rent for $10, and you'll have to send that book back, and you'll lose the ebook access after the fact. But at least it doesn't break you. I mean, it's a little less expensive than that, because when you buy these books like brand new, it's like a small fortune. You end up having that's a down payment for a car now these days, right? I remember when I went to school, I went to COS, I signed up. This was way back in the day. It was actually back in the 80s. And I was so mad because I had to pay for my tuition. I had to buy all my books. And as I was leaving the bookstore, I had spent with everything all together, my tuition, my books, everything. I was so mad. I spent almost $100. I was so mad. All right.
That's what we pay for a book now.
Oh my goodness. Really?
More than that.
I know.
You mean it doesn't cost $5 a unit to go to school anymore?
No.
No.
Oh my goodness. I guess
My total book cost was $700 if I didn't get discounts and everything.
Yeah, but minimum wage was only like $3.35 at the time, all right? So don't start crying on my shoulder. I had to work a lot of hours to get that $100, all right? All right. So anyway, all right. Now, the other thing that I do want to mention as well, and it's posted here a number of times. Let's go to the modules where it says My Lab Resources and Registration. It clearly states here, and most of you know this already because I think most instructors are moving in this direction, but you must access My Lab Mastering in the course menu to register. Do not go to the Pearson website. If you buy the materials from the bookstore, they're going to give you instructions to go to their website to sign up. And I know that happens because you're going to send me an email saying you need a course ID. And I'm going to say, no, there's no course ID. You go into the course through Canvas, all right? Everything is integrated in Canvas. I do this to make your lives easier, right? Everything just goes through one portal. We go through the Canvas and everything can be done on Canvas. It's as if your entire class is right here. So if you go to the website separately and sign up, you're going to run into some difficulties. There is no course ID. I say that in the syllabus a number of times, but just so that you know, and I'm sure I'm going to get an email asking me, what's the course ID? And I'll reply, there is no course ID, okay? All right, so let's go to modules. We have the syllabus, we've reviewed that. The calendar, we've reviewed that. The participation requirements, the resources. My contact information, I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret here, okay? Don't tell anybody. This is actually my cell number, all right? Do not harass me after this course is over, all right? I will be really upset. I don't have to change my phone number. After this course is over, you can get rid of my cell number and that, because I know good police officers and they're going to come visit you and that's not going to be cool, all right? So don't harass me. If you didn't get the grade you wanted, work hard now so you can get the grade you really do want, all right? So, but after the course is done, please erase my cell number from your phones, all right, please? Anyway, the better way to get a hold of me is through my email anyway. I'm pretty good at responding. Within 24 hours, usually I'm back. I do have a policy of 48 hours because if I'm Monday, or let's say Saturday night, I log out and I don't log in all day Sunday, you send an email to me Sunday evening right after I left, it won't be till Monday I get back to you. Right? So there's a 48-hour policy, but most cases I'm going to get back to you within 24 hours. Anybody email me yet so far from here? Has anybody? Haley? How quickly did I respond? How quick?
Like 2 hours tops.
Oh, okay, 2 hours time. Well, that's pretty good. All right, I'm not that good all the time, but there you go. So email is probably a very good option for you to get a hold of me, to let me know, or to ask questions. My schedule is also posted here. Oh, there is a questions thread. This is also, I have this so that I'm subscribed to this questions thread. So if you post a question here, I get an email and I will go here and reply to your message here. Now, I don't really care for this very much. I mean, it's good that I have to put this here to make it available so that the powers that be that come observe my class say, okay, you've given them another option to post questions. But honestly, if I were you, I would use email because it's more private. You know, you have a conversation about things, you're confused about things. It's a little bit more private if you email me. Everything that's here is blasted. Everybody sees everything. Which, I mean, if you're okay with that, that's fine. But I would prefer that you email me, especially if it's grade related. I will not answer questions here associated with your grades. In fact, what I'll post is I'll reply and say, hey, send an email to me and I'll address your question privately, okay? So if you have a question, you can post it here, but just remember it's very public. And in most cases, I'm going to suggest if you have a question, send it to me by email, and I'm going to reply to you at least as fast, if not faster, if you send it to me by email. Okay. What else? We have Zoom meetings. There's only really 2 links here. The first one is for this meeting, so that's already been done. From here on out, if you want to visit me during my normal office hours that I have set up, you will actually click on the general office Zoom meetings, either in my general office, my normal office hours, or during class time, which this course meets between 8 and 10. Okay. So I will be online on Canvas waiting for you to come and say hello to me, but you'll use the general office Zoom meeting. And whenever I'm online, I go ahead and post the links again to you so that it won't be that difficult for you to know which link to click on. I'll post an announcement. I think I did that yesterday, right? Let's see what I did yesterday. I'm available on Zoom. That's my normal office hours. I'll go over my normal office hours, but see, I put this link here so that it could be real easy. You could just click on that. But if you want to go to the modules, and if it's during class time or during my normal, you'll just click on this, and you'll see that there is a link for my general office meeting links, okay? So that'll get you to, now let me go ahead and pull up my office hours so that we're clear on what those are. I posted them here. I had to switch them this morning because of the class meeting time confusion. So if you downloaded this earlier, you need to re-download this because it's different, all right? This has not changed. My general office meeting time is on Monday and Wednesdays from 9 to 10, I also have them again on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 1. So those are the times that I'm available for everybody. For you specifically, I'm here between 8, 10, and 10 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? So if you need to go online to talk to me about a question or issue, this is the time to do it, either in the class times or in the general office Zoom meetings. I would discourage you from getting on. I'm going to be online for Accounting 1, but that's their time. And so, I mean, if I have no one else there and you have a question, I'll probably go ahead and try to deal with it. But preferably, you could go ahead and log in during your normal meeting times anyway, okay? All right, so any questions about my office hours? All right, so the Zoom meetings, we talked about that, the general office Zoom meeting. Now, this is Accounting 2. I'm trying to create a more live environment because you guys, most of you signed up for the live classes. So I'm actually creating lecture videos. Now, the good news is the pandemic hit right in the middle of last spring. So I think it's chapter 7 and beyond. I already have videos posted in YouTube, so I won't have to create those again. Although the quality is probably not that great, but that's okay. It's good enough. All right. We'll be able to battle through this. And really the quality of these, they're pretty boring. I mean, I'm a boring person as it is, but still, they're still at least the kind of lectures that you would expect to have in a classroom. So, so you have access to these lecture videos. So as an example here, and I'm going to try to stay ahead of the game. I don't have, let's see, I've done 4. I need to do 5, and I think I need to do 6. And then all the other videos are on YouTube already. I just need to create the links to get them in here. But so this is an example. I broke in the first chapter into 2 parts. But from then on, most of the times, and I don't remember what I did last semester, but most of the time, like lecture number 2, they're just based upon objectives. So I think there's 1, 2, 3. Oh no, so there's section 1 and 2. So they're actually broken up in. So you could just go through, like here's an example of. We're going to move on to chapter 2, building blocks of managerial accounting. Oh my goodness, that's so interesting, right? Be 5 sections here. The building blocks of managerial accounting. That's exciting. Oh my, calm down, guys. It's going to be okay. Don't get all excited here. But there's where the lecture videos are. So when you're ready to start on the homework and assignments, you may take some time during either the normal office time or normal time that we meet for classes to just go in and start looking at the videos, and it will be as if you're in a classroom. And the difference is that you're not, you don't normally ask questions anyway in class, but you won't have that opportunity in listening to or watching the videos. But I will be available online during that time as well, in case you come across something you say, hey, I'm going to ask Andy about this, and I should be online. Okay. Okay. Any questions about the lecture videos? Okay. From then on, it goes in from week to week. Week 1, week 2, week 3. So whatever's doing that week, this is a good way to kind of see where we're at. For week 1, the caveat is going to be the week 1 discussions are due April 23rd. The chapter 1 homework assignment and quiz are not due to the 31st. So we'll go into week 2. You have the discussions due on the 30th and chapter 2 homework. From then on, there'll be consistency. The chapter discussions are due on Sunday evening, and the homework is due, well, that's 2 weeks as well. So it's going to be due on the 14th. So in week 4, the 13th is a Sunday and the 14th is homework. So if you get confused, just look at the due dates that are posted here. But just remember, when it says September 14th, it does not mean 11:59 p.m. It means 4 p.m., which is consistent with the way it's posted on the calendar, in all the calendars. The only thing it doesn't do is in this area, it doesn't show 4 p.m. It just shows the date. I'm not quite sure why, but it is what it is, all right? So just remember that the assignments due on Monday are due at 4 p.m. All right, we've talked about the discussions. We've talked about the assignments. Any questions, issues, concerns at all across the board about this course, about me, about becoming a CPA, about how wonderful I am? Hey, here's what don't pay attention to what they say on Rate My Professor, okay? Don't do that. I'm not that bad. Whatever they say up there, it's not true.
I've never even got on that.
You've never even gone there?
To be honest, I have not.
Okay, well.
So I don't know what they say about you.
Well, here's what most people do. They go on to Rate My Professor to figure out who are the easiest instructors. That's what they usually do, right? How do I get, okay, Veronica, don't shake your head. That's not fair, all right?
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Good to know for the future.
Oh, now I've just given you some hints on how to use Rate My Professor, huh?
Uh-huh.
And that's why I don't fare so well. Not that I'm like, I don't think people say a lot of bad things about me. In fact, if you look at my scores, I've been told they're not bad. I haven't gone there myself. But and you know why I don't? Because I'm going to read about 5 or 6 pretty good things, and I'm going to say, hey, that's cool. And then I'm going to read that one thing of that one student that trashes me, and it's going to piss me off. It doesn't matter. That one student will piss me off. So it's better that I don't read any of it, because just that one negative post just doesn't sit well with me.
I don't think you had any negative posts.
Oh, you went there and read, huh?
Yes.
Well, what did they say? Now I want to know. What did they say?
I can't remember, but I don't think I've seen any negative posts.
Oh, okay. Did you use that for a decision as to whether to sign up for this class?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's nice. It's a lot funner when we're in class. This won't be
It's
as
like
fun.
online shopping, you have to read the reviews before you make the choice.
Yeah, but the problem is that you guys are reading people, the ones that are motivated, usually are motivated to go to Rate My Professor, are the ones that are pissed off. It's like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to trash this dude because he did this to me and stuff. But I'm glad to read, Jennifer, that there wasn't anything too negative about me. That's good.
No, there wasn't.
I bet you there wasn't anything too positive either. But see, that would piss me off too. What do you mean there's nothing good here, right? What do you mean I get a 3 out of 4? What? Why don't I get a 4? I mean, what? You see that? It's a no-win situation for me. So I just better I don't go. I don't go and it. All right. All right. Any other questions before we sign out of this meeting today? Any questions at all?
No.
Any questions at all? Let's go see what you guys said in chat. Oh, okay. Oh, don't say sorry. I'm okay. Oh, no bad reviews. Thank you, Diana. That's cool. Very good. See, this is all going to be recorded. That's cool. So everybody gets to see it. All right. Okay, if there's no questions, then I'm going to go ahead and end the class. This is going to turn into, it's going to take a little bit of time for it to convert, but it's going to be a recorded message that I then will post the links in Canvas so that you could see this in the future if you forget something and you want a quick review, okay? Otherwise, I will be online during the times that I've mentioned. And if you have any questions, I have email. You've got my cell phone. You have my cell phone, but that's because I'm not in the office it doesn't make any sense. I guess somebody told me today I could have had that number forwarded to myself.
Forwarded. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that would require me to be thinking, right? And obviously I didn't. I thought it was just easy for me to just put my cell number there and then, have to deal with harassment.
All the stalkers after.
Yeah, a year of stalkers after this whole class. So anyway, I guess maybe next time if we have to do this, I'll go ahead and do that. That it gets forwarded to. Okay, have a wonderful semester. I hopefully will see you guys sometime online as well. If you have any questions, online, email, cell phone, whatever works for you, I'm available to. I'm here to serve you guys. Okay, so have a wonderful semester. Take care. Stay safe. Stay away from COVID. She's nasty. She'll come at you and and you're probably going to survive, but the stress and everything else that comes with it, which is not fun. And then you have to go for lockdown, and I had to shut my office down for 2 weeks, and productivity plummeted. It was not good. I mean, everybody's fine. Everybody was safe. No one had any bad symptoms, but the stress that comes with it. So what I'm hearing, right? Don't be a mask hole. All right. Wear your masks. All right.
Right.
Wear your masks, because I know you're saying, well, there's research that says it doesn't work. Who cares? Do it just in case it works. All right. Protect other people. Just put a mask on. Suck it up. It's only going to be another 2 or 3 months, and we'll be able to rip those masks off and run around naked again like we used to. Okay. Well, you'll keep your clothes on, please. But the masks, put them on. All right. Whether it works or not, don't even worry about it anymore. Just do it to be courteous to others. I mean, there's nothing that makes me more nervous when I walk into a place and I see people not wearing masks, and I'm thinking, how courteous is that of me? I'm putting masks on. It's inconvenient for me just so that I protect you, so that I don't pass something on to you in case I got it. Okay. So do it for others. Right? And then do it for your family at home, because you don't want anybody at home to be sick. Once somebody gets sick at home, it's very nerve-wracking. It's stressful, and you just, chances are it's going to be okay, but you worry. All right, you weren't. Trust me. I was.
It's very,
I slept for 3 weeks. I slept with one eye open. Right, one was closed and the other one was open. It was just blinking.
Absolutely.
Thinking that, you know, what's going to happen next. I was convinced that I actually had it as well because I did have a few symptoms at the time. Very light again, just like everybody else in the family. I had some light symptoms. I had congestion in my throat. And in fact, when you see some of the videos in weeks 7, 8, 9, you're going to notice that my voice actually sounds a little congested. And that was the time when I was convinced I had it. And I was waiting for the results to come back. In fact, the first time it came back, they came back all positive. I came back negative, and the nurse said, that doesn't work. No way. You're going to have to come back and get tested again. I said, no, I already got my free get out of jail card. I'm not going back. And he says, no, you got to come back. So I got in my car and I drove back to go get tested again. I was crying all the way over there. Tears were streaming down my face. And then I got tested again. And then for whatever, the first time I tested, it only took 2 days to get the results. The second time I tested, it took 4 days. And I had to call them and say, well, what's the deal? And I was convinced that they were going to call me and say, well, it's worse than what we thought. Not only do you have COVID, you have, I don't know, whatever, some other disease that, you know, we just happened to detect. So I thought they were holding off telling me because there was something dreadful. And when I called them on the 4th day, they went and looked and they said, well, you tested twice, right? And yeah. So they said, well, you live with 2 people that are positive, right? I said, yes, I do. And they said, well, you're still negative. So somehow or another, I was able to escape from that. But I don't know how, except for the fact that I'm a germaphobe. I wash everything 10 times. I was washing my own clothes and dishes for the 2 weeks that we were here. I was sleeping in another room, isolated from everybody in the house, using my own restroom. Aside from that, I don't have a clue why I didn't get infected. So,
I was in the same home while my mom tested positive as well. And I somehow happened to test negative as well. So I think it's just how clean you are. It goes back to how clean you are, like you said. And I was like cleaning my whole house, my walls with bleach, everything. It was crazy. My whole house smelled like bleach.
Well, if there's anybody who dies in your house soon and there's all bleach all over, you're going to be the #1 suspect, right? So think about that before you do that again. I didn't allow my wife to touch my clothes for the time I was pretty much washing my clothes. I was washing my own dishes. I'm just a paranoid little dude, and no emphasis on little. I'm only about 5'7", but just paranoid, right? And I'm a bit of a germaphobe to begin with. I think I exaggerate just for fun, but nevertheless, I did pay a lot of attention, and somehow I think some of it was what I did, but some of it is luck as well. So for whatever reason, it wasn't my time to have COVID. Hopefully that won't come, and you guys be safe as well. Do everything you can to make sure that you avoid it. If you get it, you get it. You got to deal with it, but do your best to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, are we good?
We're good.
Yes.
Okay, have a wonderful semester. I will see you online or on email. Take care, guys.
Okay.
As well.
Bye,
Thank you.
Andy.
Bye-bye.